Yeah, yeah. So now another question from Yushi in the chat. They ask if you plan to grow your business by employing other people,
Yeah.
and if so, why?
Okay. Yeah. Right now I do have I have a team of like maybe 8 or 9 people. Um, I have one full-time assistant who helps me with everything.
Hmm.
And then I have a team of editors and writers and yeah, I think that's the most like, oh, thumbnail people. Um, yeah, team of like 8 or 9 people.
Hmm.
I do think like I was self-employed, like literally just me for so many years. And I think that is important. I'm the
Yeah,
type of person that doesn't like to delegate things. So that was very unnatural for me. I just like want to do every task myself, right? And that is good because you
yeah,
learn to do everything. You learn all these different skills. So I'd say I'm like pretty well-rounded right now. Um, but eventually, if you do want to like make more or grow your business even more, then it's really, really important to delegate and trust other people to do things and sort of become like a team leader, right? So I
yeah,
feel more like a
yeah,
manager slash like business now than I did a couple of years ago before I started hiring people.
yeah. Because there's only so much you can do on your own, and of course, other people are better at a lot of things.
Yeah, I mean, like
Yeah.
your time is limited, so realistically, you can't work like over 10 to 12 hours a day, right? Unless you're gonna burn out at some point.
Yeah.
So like at some point you'll want to spend, an hour per day delegating tasks or
Hmm.
building out a team, building out processes and systems.
Yeah.
And then those people will be working throughout the day as well, or even when you're sleeping if you're hiring overseas.
Hmm.
And yeah, my goal is to get like I track the number of hours people work, and my goal is to like have a team that does like at least 30 hours per day, so that like so every day I'm working, they're also putting in 30 hours, and
Hmm.
the business can just like go a lot faster.
Yeah. Yeah. So now another question from Kelvin. He asks if you feel like your window of opportunity was smaller than entrepreneurs who started at an earlier stage in their life, and he asks if this is discouraging for you at the beginning.
Okay, so let's see. Um, so right now, a lot of my friends are way younger than me. I'm 30 years old, by the way. A lot of friends of mine are like between 20 to like 25, and they all got started way earlier than me. So it is it's something, it's one of my insecurities, like my age compared to a lot of my friends. And I did get started pretty late. But like, I think I had more experience starting this late from doing so
Hmm.
many things like myself. And that does give you an advantage. And yeah, like it doesn't matter when you start. Um, you can't change like the timing of
Yeah.
everything. So we can't go back in time. So no matter your age right now, like if you're trying to get into entrepreneurship,
Hmm.
just like start.
You
Like,
have to roll with it. Yeah.
yeah.
If you can't
And
change it, just roll with it.
yeah, let's say you're 50 years old, right? Or 60. Like you still can build a really awesome business. And
Hmm.
you probably have more experience than a lot of really young people. So maybe your chances of success are higher. Who
Yeah.
knows?
Yeah. Now another question from Leo. He asks, "What would you say is the most effective way to network?"
Um, the way I used to do it was I would follow people that I want to be like on Instagram.
Hmm.
And it's kind of weird because you're building like this parasocial relationship with someone that doesn't know you.
Yeah.
But like think about the type of life you want to live and then go find people that are literally living that life and follow their Instagram, because they'll post stories so you can sort of see a like a curated behind the scenes look into their life,
Hmm.
right? It sort of gives you an idea of like the daily activities they do. Like they'll probably give you some advice through their stories or their
Yeah.
posts. So that's how it got started. And that's like one of the main things that really got me first, like really inspired to like go all in on business
Hmm.
and like work for myself. It's just from like following people that I want to be like, and that we're killing it. So yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
that's not
So
really
reaching out on social
networking.
media,
Yeah, you
you'd say
can
that's the
reach
best
out on
way.
social media. You can join, like if you're in college, you can join campus groups. I really wish I did that. I know like
Hmm.
most colleges, I think every college is going to have some type of entrepreneurship group. So definitely do that. Like yeah, meet people online. There's tons of Facebook groups that you can join. Um,
Hmm.
if you're Asian, there's a Facebook group called Asian Hustle Network. I don't know if anyone's heard of it, but there's a ton of Asian entrepreneurs in that group. Yeah, tons and tons of opportunities to network.
Hmm. Yeah, that sounds really great and
Yeah,
easy for
but
anyone to do because it's just
yeah,
following
I'd say
someone on
like
social media.
the biggest thing like is the people you hang out with most. Like if you want to be held accountable and want like to bounce ideas off your friends, then like you should hang out with people that want to do the same.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
So now another question from the chat from Eason. He asks if you have any advice on how to build up your personal brand and your influence among your peers.
Mhm. Yeah. Right now, building a personal brand is, I wouldn't say it's amazingly easy, but it's very easy compared to before. Um, and that's because we have things like TikTok. So the thing I tell everyone is if you want to build a personal brand, first you need to like have some type of character, like some type of character that people might want to follow or get inspired by, right? Like you don't need to be very successful. Like I wasn't successful when I started my personal brand. You just need to have good ideas and you need to have the right trajectory that
Hmm.
that they see, right? So they get inspired by it. And then what I would do is create content on TikTok. These are like short form videos that can be pretty easy to make. And then taking those videos, reposting them onto Instagram Reels. Since you literally made the video already, so you might
Hmm.
as well get double
Just
exposure.
export it.
And then,
Yeah.
yeah, take that same video and post it on YouTube Shorts, so you get triple the exposure. And then if you really want to do it, you can repost that onto Pinterest. So you have like 4 different platforms that you can post one video
One
on. So
snippet. Yeah.
it's literally like the best ROI for your time spent making content. Um, and the great thing about those platforms is like the number of eyeballs you can get is just astronomical. So it's
Hmm.
sort of like a funnel. You have all these different people that discover you, and if you make at least some type of good impact with your content, they'll follow you. They'll look forward to what you have to say, and then eventually you want to get those people to your YouTube channel. I think the YouTube
Yeah.
channel is like where you can really connect the most with your audience, and that's because of those long form
Hmm.
videos. When I say YouTube, it's a little bit different than like building a YouTube channel that's only based on shorts, because shorts viewers on YouTube are not as devoted to you, so it's not as good of a community.
Hmm.
Eventually, you'll want to start doing long form content
Longer
on YouTube.
videos.
So that's how I would. That's like the blueprint I would take to make content these days.
So you start off with the shorter content to draw people in, and then you have your YouTube as a hub for creating a community around your personal brand,
Yep.
right?
hmm Yeah,
Hmm.
that's it's exactly how it got started. I got started in late 2019, or like actually, I was trying to build my YouTube channel. I've been trying to build my YouTube channel for like a decade plus. Um,
Oh wow.
I had a music cover channel starting in like 2008 with my sister. We would do music covers, and then eventually I tried starting a fitness YouTube channel. That didn't work out. And then in 2017 or 2018, that's when I started to post like personal finance stuff
Yeah.
on my channel. So yeah, I've tried building YouTube many times, and finally, like it worked.
Yeah. Finally
Um,
clicked.
yeah.
Yeah. So now a question from Bal in the chat. They asked if you had any mentors or mentorship figures who helped you get started with your own business.
So I didn't. Um, I really wish I did, but I'd say that like starting in 2017, that's or 2017, 2018, that's when I started getting more into like following entrepreneurship or entrepreneurs on social media. I would sort of use them as my mentors, And of course, they don't know me. I'm just consuming their content. But you can be like mentored by like people that you follow on Instagram. You can be
Hmm.
also mentored by people, books that you read. You can be mentored by
Yeah.
YouTube videos, like interviews with other entrepreneurs. I think like the definition of mentorship is becoming more broad these days. It doesn't have to be like an old guy that has like 50 years of entrepreneurship experience, like talking to you
Yeah.
right next to you, right? Like there's different types of mentorship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So
speaking
I'd
of
say,
books, Ethan asks if you have any book recommendations.
I mean, the first two books that like really changed up my whole like habits and lifestyle was The Compound Effect and also Miracle Morning. So Compound Effect just talks about like how all your daily habits like build on each other, and it's really important to be like consistent. Um, and then like the same thing with bad habits, like those also compound and will result in exponential growth downwards.
Hmm.
So important to know that. And then the Miracle Morning, just um, in 2019, I just completely changed up everything I did. Like I shifted all my habits, and that was the book that encouraged me to do that. I just started waking up at like 5 a.m. every single day and doing
Yeah.
the whole wake up early, do a morning routine, do work, and then just like
Take a
changing
cold
things up.
shower. Yeah.
Cold shower, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Reading, writing in a journal, doing affirmations, visualizations, all that stuff.
Hmm.
So those are two really big books that um, had like a pretty big impact on myself.
Yeah. Yeah. So now another question from Jonathan. He asks if you used an attorney or a CPA to help with starting and monitoring your business.
I didn't. I mean, I do have a CPA right now. I also have like a tax strategist that I've worked with. Um, but for most people, I mean, I don't think you'll need um, like a lawyer or attorney or anything like that. Just do a side hustle, make money, and then either just learn how to file your own taxes, since they probably will be pretty easy, and you can do it with something like quick
Like
quick
TurboTax,
TurboTax,
something
yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
or Tax Act or whatever. Um, and and yeah, so I didn't have any of that when I was starting, and I actually
Hmm.
didn't have an accountant until just a few years ago, I think.
Yeah. So it's easy to get started, is what you're saying, and then you only really need one when it gets more complex and bigger.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
makes sense.
And if you want like, advice on that stuff or accounting help or whatever, there's so many different platforms you can use, like Bench, or
Yeah.
you can like one of my really good friends, Carlton Dennis, does tax YouTube. So all his videos are just about like tax strategy, all that stuff.
Yeah.
So
A lot of online
tons of free
resources.
info. Mhm.
Hmm. So now another question from Kelvin. He asks if you've ever fallen into a sunken cost fallacy where you spend a lot of time and resources on something that, in hindsight now, you feel like is a bad investment.
Um, Man, that's hard because I get the whole sunken cost thing. And I've definitely like experienced businesses where I was like, I put in all this effort, like, should I really stop it? But
Hmm.
you just have to think, you just have to be sort of optimistic about it and be like, okay, it's okay if I like shut down this business or whatever. I learned things from it. Write down
Yeah.
all the things you learned and just vow to never make those mistakes again. Right. So I think like for me, the biggest one was Charge, which was my clothing brand. That was the one that I lost like $25,000 on, and just like so much of my time.
Yeah.
I even like traveled to Asia like multiple times to meet with the factories and like tour different manufacturers and all that stuff.
Hmm.
Um, so that was a big loss for me. But I mean, like I'll share with you guys my lesson from that one, and that was just that like marketing is super important. You can have the best product, but if you don't have the right marketing, no one's going to find out about that
Yeah.
product, and they won't have the benefit of trying it out, right? So,
Hmm.
like you owe it to yourself and your business to focus a majority of your efforts, not on just like getting the website right, like making the clothes perfectly shaped and whatever. Instead, focus on the marketing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.